All right, show me the money time. NFL picks for Super Wildcard Weekend. Joe D still here with us doing our picks here. And before we get to the picks, let's revisit our NFL over-unders here, which ended in a push.
So what happens now?
I think we are just there's still no action. I think back to you just owe me the sandwich still.
I stole you the sandwich. I know.
Yeah.
I know. This is ridiculous. This sandwich gate has been going on way too long.
Yeah, well, we have to talk about that off the air, but here's the reset here. So your picks here. You nailed the Patriots. That was the easiest
Dang,
one.
that was the easiest one.
Colts under 6.5 did not go great for you. It went 9-8. The Lions, Joe, you were down the Lions, and Dan Campbell heard you and probably played this
Yeah,
in the locker room before the
I,
season.
you know what? I think that's exactly what Dan Campbell did. He
Yeah.
put on the Just End the Suffering podcast, and he said, "You know what? Screw Joe D, the Packer fan that he is. Even though I do like him this week." And they went out and dominated this year.
Packers over 7.5. You got that one.
Bingo.
You were a big Dable guy. He went 6-11. Did not help you.
I really thought that Daniel Jones was the guy. Clearly, I'm wrong.
And the Bengals, you got a bad break with the Burrow injury. I think if he doesn't get hurt, you get that one.
Yeah, I was really close to that one.
Yep. My picks: Jets over 9.5. That was dead. This 4 plays into the season.
R.I.P.
Steelers under 8.5. They should have been much worse based on their point differential, but Tomlin's.
Figured, yeah, that was a tough one for you too. You've had wow. I'm looking at your list before you get to them. You had a bunch of tough ones.
Yeah. The Jaguars, the one that drives me insane here because I sitting here 8-3, like this is a lock. I got this in the bag, and then all they had to do is beat the Titans, get in the playoffs, and I win that one, and I win the year. I don't get it.
That is heartbreaking.
Yeah. So screw you, Trevor Lawrence. You cost me a double, like 2 sandwiches, and it was 1. The Saints under 9.5. They did win that one. They went 9-8.
That was close. That was a lot closer than you probably thought.
Yeah, I thought I had in the bag a couple of weeks, and they got hot down the stretch, and they're running up the score on the Falcons, but that's a whole other issue. Yeah, the Vikings. I thought I had this about when Josh Dobbs was Josh Dobbs, and then it sort of fell apart.
Yeah, you had some bad luck with quarterbacks.
Yeah, Denver. I was worried about that one. They came through in the end because they once Peyton pulled Russell Wilson, they went to state and they lost their last 2 games. I had it.
I mean, we were really close. I know we pushed here, but a couple of outcomes or a couple things happened in a different direction. We're both flipping wins and losses.
I mean, I'm 1 win away in each direction, being 0-6.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, I had a good chance to go forward too. If a couple of things break my way, and a couple of the other ones.
I think I remember you texting me saying that you had the edge at some point during the season, but here we are pushing away.
Yeah, we're pushing away here. So that's the action for this year. We'll get to the picks challenge, though. My buddy Joe Simone came on last week, made his debut on the podcast doing NFL picks, and he had a solid week. I'm going to put the picks up on the board right now. He went 2-1 on the week. He had the Cardinals getting the 3 getting 2.5 against the Seahawks. They lose by a point, so they covered. He picked the Chargers for some reason, laying 3.5. They ended up losing the game outright, which that's the times I don't know why you're picking the Chargers.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
You had the Bills laying the 3, and it looked dicey early, but Buffalo came back to win. So 2-1 for Joe last week.
Well, you had a big week, Mike. 3-0. Look out.
Yeah, big week for me here with the 3-0, and definitely a lot of fun here with that because in terms of I took your boys laying the 3. I said no way the Packers blow this 2 years in a row. They took care of business. Cowboys laid the big with a 13. They won by what, 28?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, and the Lions laying 3. I said Dan Campbell is going to be pissed after the ref screwed him in week 17. They take it on the Vikings. They did. They win by 10. So 3-0 week for me.
You definitely helped you out record-wise. That's for damn sure.
Yep. So on the year, I did win the regular season title, go 29-24-1, 27-27 for team challenge. But the playoffs, anything can happen here. We got 11 more games to pick over the next couple of weeks.
We got a brand new season here. Here we go.
We certainly do here. As we're gonna go chronologically game by game here. So we're gonna each make our picks for each game before we move on here. So we're gonna start at the top here. We're gonna go to Saturday at 4:30. The Browns at the Texans on NBC. The Browns are laying 2.5 points here. Joe, where are you going?
Browns minus 2.5, baby. I like the Browns in this one. As I alluded to earlier, I think their defense is a big reason why they come out victorious and win by at least field goal.
I'm with you on that one. I'm making a sweep on the Browns here. I think we saw his team play on Christmas Eve. Cleveland won 36-22. You can't even say Deshaun Watson played that game. It was all Flacco. They, of course, that defense has question marks. And Stroud against good D's, I mentioned earlier here, they have issues. I think this is going to be a case where, happy to be there. They get their experience, they lose, and next year they're back for more.
Let's go, Brownies.
All right. Pick 2 here. Saturday night on Peacock, the controversial Peacock choice of Dolphins Chiefs. Chiefs laying 3.5 at home. Where are you going, Joe?
I love the Chiefs at home. Patrick Mahomes, Peacock in a way, and they continue to live another day. Although I don't see the Chiefs making a deep run in the postseason this year. I think matchup wise, being at home, and again, I know Patrick Mahomes doesn't have the weapons that he once had, but if I have to choose who I want to make a play to win me a game, is it Patrick Mahomes or is it Tua? I'm going with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
You're going heads up as well. I'm taking the Dolphins, getting the 3.5 points here. I love the hook. I think the hook is massive this game because a field goal game either direction here. And I think one thing here, the Chief weapons are a big, big, big issue. I don't think they have enough firepower. Especially if Miami has Mostert back for this game. They have Jalen Waddle back for this game here. The speed that they have can be game breaking. All it takes is one big play. Miami is right in this game. Plus, Tyreek Hill is going to be motivated to have a huge game against the Chiefs and show that they were wrong to trade him.
Hey, time will tell. Again, I think you can't knock the king in the postseason just yet.
All right, so that's pick number 2 here. Next game up here, Sunday, 1:00 on CBS here. Steelers at the Bills, the 2-7 matchup in the AFC. Buffalo laying 10 points, biggest line on the board this week. Joe, where are you going?
Yeah, I hate double-digit points in the playoffs. I know you talked about earlier the point differential for the Steelers. I'm going to key on the Steelers defense and making this a closer game. I could see the Bills still winning by a touchdown, but I like the points. Give me the 10 in the Steelers.
I'm laying the points. I love the Bills in this matchup here. I think they're going to run the ball down Pittsburgh's throat. Technically no TJ Watt is massive here. And I feel like whoever's the quarterback for the Steelers, whether it's Rudolph, whether it's Pickett, whether it's Trubisky, is going to make some big mistakes here. I think the Steelers are fraudulent. They're going to get exposed in a big way here. Bills win by at least 2 touchdowns.
Wow, you're saying 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So if the line was 14, you'd be fine with it. 13.5.
I would lay the 13.5 if it was that point.
Wow. See, I don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Steelers fans, I know you don't love me after this year, but trust me, you guys are not, you're cooked.
Wow, those are fighting words, Mike. You better watch out.
Let's see here. So next up here, the game of the Sunday, Packers Cowboys, 4:30 on Fox. Cowboys laying 7.5. Joe, I'm assuming I know exactly where you're going.
Give me the Packers. Again, I don't know if the Packers are going to win this game, but I do know that they're going to fight and keep this game closer. I think, touchdown's a lot of points. Plus that, a touchdown plus, really. So I think Green Bay's offense has taken a step in the right direction under Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur's offense. I think this game is going to, a couple things. Number one, it's going to be Green Bay's defense. Can Joe Barry get his guys in the right position? Number two, can they be a disciplined football team, a young team in the playoffs, and not make mental mistakes? Number three, this offense still runs through Aaron Jones, who has dominated the Green Bay Packers over their last 3 meetings. If Aaron Jones continues to get the 20 pluses that he needs on a week-to-week basis, Green Bay will upset the Dallas Cowboys. If those 3 things don't happen, Green Bay is going to be in for a long Sunday, though.
I'm with you on the pack here. I'm taking the points. I love the fact I'm getting the hook here that they could lose by a touchdown and cover the number here. Plus, Dallas has not looked great down the stretch. They should have lost the Lions. The referees get the call incorrectly here. They had games. They lost the Dolphins. They lost the Bills. This is a team that's coming here with no pressure on the Green Bay. They know that they're lucky to be there. A lot of weight on the Cowboys' shoulders here. I think it's going to be a lot tighter than people expect here. So I'm with you on the points.
Let's play some football, baby.
Yep. Next up here, Sunday night on NBC, 8:00. Rams, Lions. Lions laying 3.5 here. So, Joe, where are you going?
Give me the Lions to win outright, 3.5. No big deal. Again, this one's the toughest one because I really think it could be a coin toss because of how well coached the Rams are and how good that roster is overall. But despite me going against Dan Campbell at the beginning of the season, um, Detroit has taken the right steps in the right direction, and I think this is a tremendous opportunity for another young team to make some noise here in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Lions. I'll lay it 3.5 here. I think the Rams walk into a buzzsaw in this game here. I mean, Ford Field's gonna be rocking. Detroit's not hosted a playoff game since 1991, I believe, 1993, whatever year that last one of the division was here. And this is a spot here where Dan Campbell's team is very motivated to come out here, prove themselves wrong. They have the added motivation factor. Stafford coming back here, trying to not let him leave Detroit with a playoff win here. I think the Rams are playing well. They had great credit job by Sean McVay coaching this team, but I think the run ends here. I think the Lions take care of business. The Lions move on.
What world are we living in that we're taking the Browns and the Lions to both win a playoff game? Unbelievable.
Yeah, crazy world we are here. And last but not least here, Monday Night Football, 8 o'clock on ESPN and ABC. Eagles, Bucks. Eagles 2.5 point favorites on the road here. Joe, what you doing?
Give me the home dogs and the Buccaneers. I don't like what I've seen with the Eagles and how they finish off the season. The Jalen Hurts injury concerns me. The lack of what sounds like team chemistry in Philly. I don't You don't want to hear that, especially at this point of the year. There's just too many things that aren't going the right way. Now, could they easily turn things around in the postseason? Absolutely. But here's a perfect example of a Bucks team. Hey, they're hosting a home game. They have nothing to lose here. All the pressure is on the Eagles. And here's a Bucks team that, hey, Baker Mayfield has made some plays. He's got some weapons on offense. I like the Bucks here to win outright.
Yeah, I am with you 100% on the Bucks here getting the 2.5 points at home here. Some context here, numbers here. This is the numbers the Eagles defense giving up down the stretch here. 42, 33, 20, 25, 35, and 27. Those two of those last three came to the Cardinals. The Giants is not good here. And a fun fact here for people who are aware of this stuff here. Teams that have got 1-5 down the stretch and made the playoffs have not won a playoff game since 2000. So we're going almost 23 years. So the trend continues here. Give me the Bucks.
Now that is some deep analysis right there, Big Mike.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm with you here. Tampa's going to take care of business here. Move on.
Here we go. Let's see how they all shake out.
All right, so let's reset the picks here. Joe's picks. He's got the Browns laying at 2.5 in Houston. Chiefs laying 3.5 at home. Steelers getting 10 in Buffalo. Packers getting 7.5. The Lions laying 3.5, and the Bucks laying 2.5 on Monday Night Football to round out the week. Now let's go over to my picks here on the board here. So Joe and I are simpatico on 4 of the picks here. We are on the same board with the Browns, Packers, the Lions, and the Bucks. The whole NFC agree with here, but my difference is I love the Dolphins getting the points, and the Bills laying the 10 to win by at least 2 touchdowns over the Steelers. So those are your picks here for Super Wild Card Weekend here, and we're gonna be back next week. We had the only other guy whose team made the playoffs here, Troy Moriello, will be on next week to do picks for divisional round.
Very nice. Give Troy my best, please.
Yeah. Literally, I went through the list of all the people whose teams made the picks here. Only your team and the Cowboys made the playoffs of the people I had on.
Hey, we know what we're doing here.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure here. And Joe, thank you for all the time this week. I really appreciate it. People want to follow you on social media. How can they do that?
Yeah, Mike, they can give me a shout on Twitter at Joe_DALOISIO.